On this episode, Ben has a mental breakdown.
Daytime, nighttime, it was nighttime.
Then he abuses Malcolm's dignity. And then he starts being dramatic.
Morning, we're back once again. How we doing, guys? Welcome back to the channel, welcome back to another Fight and Talk video. It's horrible today, and we are out. I've brought the boy out. He's been a bit poorly, I'll tell you about that later. We've been in the vets, haven't we? He's all drugged up. He's on like dog tomazepam or something. So he just keeps sleeping all the time. Anyway, I've got loads to tell you. Go get yourselves a beer or a brew or a cider. Get yourselves a cider. There's a different one for today. And we'll have a chat. And then I've got an exciting, well, it's not that exciting. We've got a thing on. I'll tell you all about it. I've been busy. About 1 o'clock in the morning, I get a call, right? Straight away I could tell he sounded a little bit desperate on the phone. And he says to me, oh, mate, can you help me? But basically what had happened was, and you HGV boys who run through the night, you'll know about this. It is a pain. They decided to do a little bit of roadworks on the A17 and they just shut it. No prior warning, no nothing, they just shut the A17 for about a mile stretch. Didn't put any diversions in place or anything. So people were relying on their sat-nav. Well, round these parts, there's a lot of green lanes, right? Keep up. Loads of green lanes. And your sat-nav will actually try and take you down these green lanes. They'll think that they're real roads. So this bloke, bless him, he's in his Jag and he's followed his sat-nav and he's gone down this green lane. So he rings me up and he goes, mate, I'm about 2 miles down this lane and I'm completely stuck. He's completely turned, he's tried to turn around when he's realised he's like gonna get himself in trouble. He's tried to turn around and he's ultimately, as he's turned around, he's fallen down into a field and slid down and can't get out. And I just said to him, I was like, mate, I haven't got anything that will come down a green lane. Like, I can't help you. I gave him a number of one of the big guys around here. I said, call me back if you're stuck. So he phones them and they say, no, can't help you, mate. We don't have a 4x4 capability. Can't help you. So he rings me back, and by this point now, it's about 1:30 in the morning. And he's getting, I can hear like desperation in his voice. He's properly getting desperate, and he's like, mate, please, can you help me, please? I was like, wait. I said, I'll come and try and help you, and there'll be a charge for that, whether I get you out or not. And he was like, that's fine. He said, you're the only person who's entertaining speaking to me. I was like, so I gave him a scratch on the head and off I go. So I take Charlie with me, because I'm clearly not going to take this down a lane, am I? Well, I'm clearly not going to take any of my vehicles down a green lane, but I did. Anyway, I find this lane, and I didn't even know about it, to be honest. I go down it, and straight away, I was like, what the friggin' hell am I doing here? And why did he come down here? So anyway, me and Charlie go bouncing down this lane. About 2 o'clock in the morning by this point. I eventually get to him, God knows how. I was like, because it's obviously rear wheel drive, isn't it? And do you know what? I was quite impressed. I had quite a lot of grip because it's got twin wheels on the back and it's got the big heavy spec over the back wheels. It's actually had quite a lot of traction. Anyway, I get down there. First thing I try and do is I put my tow rope on and I try and tow him out. Well, he was so stuck that my tow rope snapped. It snapped my tow rope straight away. Just snapped that. So that was gone. Next thing is, I was like, well, I've got to turn around now, and we'll have to try and use. No, I've got that little poxy winch on the back. I thought, I'm just gonna have to try and use that. And it's going in next week to have the new winch fitted to the back. That's all being done. I've got a new Rhino winch going on the back, but at the minute I've only got that crappy, horrible thing, poxy thing. So I've already disconnected all the wiring, so I had to get my boost pack out and like ultimately hot wire the winch, plug onto the wires directly to get the winch to work. Anyway, couldn't get him out. Tried for hours. Next thing is, I get stuck, so I am then stuck in the mud. There was a point at about 2 o'clock to 2:30 in the morning, I was like, hey, we're in trouble now, because I was stuck. Charlie was buried down to the diff. He's stuck. We know that no one else is going to answer the phone. We know there's no one else. So I was like, Jesus. So I was like, right, big boy pants need to come on. We need to sort this out. So using my feet, basically, I had to dig away underneath Charlie, and then I had to go into a field, grab a load of twigs and a load of grass, and basically build a more grippy surface, lay it all down. And long and the short of it is, I got myself out. It took me, I got stuck 4 times trying to get myself out, and then every time I get myself out, I'd have to give him a little bit of a pull, and that's how we got out. So it took me about 2.5 hours to get this guy 2 miles down a lane with Charlie, digging myself out, knowing that there was no one else. No one else was coming for us. But you know what? I didn't even charge him any more money. I was stupid, really. But I said to him, leave me a Google review, and he didn't.
He actually left the review whilst we were filming. You can pause now if you want to read it.
That's what I've been doing this week. Now, what are we up to today? So I am going to pick up a, it's a Land Rover, obviously. It's always a bloody Land Rover going on the back. A Disco 3 that is stuck in park, or it's got park issues or parking brake issues, and it needs to go into Sleaford. So I'm going into Grantham to pick it up. I thought I'd bring you along. I thought we'd bring Malcolm and get him out for a little bit of time out. But yeah, whilst I was stuck in this field trying to get this guy out, there was a point, I'm not even joking, I'll put some pictures up because they don't do it justice because it was dark, but this lane, it was ridiculous. But the whole time all I could think is Malcolm's at home on his own, asleep on the bed, and I was like, I just want to go back to Malcolm. I know people will be like, oh, you let your dog sleep on the bed? Yeah, I'd let Malcolm borrow my car if he wanted it. So here's something that made me laugh earlier in the week, right? I heard a song that I haven't heard for a long time, and that song, I don't know if you'll know it, the older guys amongst you will probably know this song, but I'm sure some of the young ones won't. But it's called You're the Voice by John Farnham. I'll try and play a little clip now, but I don't want to get a copyright. So there you go, that song there, right? You know it? Now, when I was a kid, my family are all big on music, right? So when I was growing up, it was always about music. There was always music on, Fleetwood Mac, all that sort of stuff, Orchestral Manoeuvres in the Dark, all these sort of bands of the 80s and that. And I got a stack system, you know, like an old school hi-fi stack system. So it had like a tape deck, CD, it actually had a CD player, an amp, and then it had on the top was a record player. I found this sleeve, and it's got a mini record in it. John Farnham, You're the Voice, and I thought, oh, I'll put that on, see what it sounds like. So I'm about 12 or something, and I put it on, and you know, the little needle, lining it up. And anyway, I used to play this song all the time. I was like, I kind of like it. It's really slow and like, ooh, it sounds like new age, like spacey and like weird. It was only about 5 years later that I heard this song on the radio, and I was like, that sounds just like that song I used to play in my bedroom, but like much faster. And it turns out for years I'd been playing this song, this John Farnham, You're the Voice, on the wrong speed setting. So I've been playing it, I can't remember if it's like 45 and 75 or something, I can't even remember now. I've just got Spotify now, and that just comes in play. But yeah, I'd been playing this song for years as a kid on the wrong speed setting, and I thought the song went, You're the Voice, like that, like some old sea shanty song. I'll try and play it for you now, slowed down. So there you go. That's what for years I thought that song sounded like, until I heard it on the radio, and then I was like, oh god. And my mum was like, you're a retard, you're stupid. And I was like, well, if you don't know, you don't know, do you? Ah, it's funny, isn't it? The stuff we do. But I thought it sounded quirky when it was all slowed down. So the other thing, I like to give you a little bit of friendly advice. Whether you take it or not is up to you. I have a motorbike, as you know, and I don't really ride it enough. And I certainly don't ride it in the winter. I used to ride 365 days a year. I've done my bad weather riding, and I don't enjoy it. It's terrible. You can't ride quick, you can't make progress, so I don't do it. If I can't go out and have a nice blast and just wear my leathers, that was a good catch, I should have been a cricketer, then I don't want to do it. I don't want to be dressed up like the Michelin Man to ride my motorbike. And once my neck and my hands get cold, I'm grumpy. So I store my bike through the winter. And one thing that really drives me mad, I see it on like groups all the time, how to store vehicles. So I thought I'd just give you some advice, because there is a lot of people do the wrong. all right, Ronnie. People do the wrong thing here, I swear to you. Millions of people. And I don't know where this comes from that people do this. I mean, people might disagree with me on this, but I don't care. I'm going to tell you how it is. So let's say you're storing a motorbike or a car, this can be a car as well, for like, let's say 0 to 3 months. Then what I would suggest you do is nothing. Battery trickle charger maybe. Disconnect the battery if you want. If you think you've got a bit of parasitic drain, disconnect it. If not, just leave it, it'll be fine. 3 months to 6 months, what I would do, especially if it's over winter, disconnect the battery, take the battery off, put the battery in the house. Leave it, that's it. Don't start it, you don't need to start it. And I'll tell you why that is in a minute. More than 6 months, I would change the oil before, because oil becomes acidic when it's been used and when it's been through the engine and it's been cleaning components internally. So change the oil before you store it. If it's more than 6 months. Brim the fuel tank, absolutely brim the fuel tank so that it's right up to the very top. Now that stops there being moisture in the tank, so you don't get condensation. If you've got a metal fuel tank, especially on motorbikes, they will rust on the inside, but if you absolutely fill them to the brim with super unleaded, not bloody E5, no, not E10, put E5 in it, so super unleaded, fill it to the top, change oil, take the battery off and put it inside. That's it. If you want to put it on a trickle charger every now and then in the house, fine. But if it's in the house and it's warm, or if it's in a unit that's warm, it'll be fine. Now this brings me on to the people starting them. I see it all the time, right? So I'm in this motorbike owners club for the bike I own. I see it all the time. People put these videos on in like December, Christmas Day, there's snow outside, and they'll go, brought my bike out today for to start it up. And they've got a picture of it on a paddock stand running away, and you go, why did you do that? Well, keep everything moving, innit? Keep everything lubed up and keep it. Why? Why? I don't understand. I just don't understand why people do it. And the reason is this, right? There's 2 sets of fluid in an engine, coolant and oil. Your engine, trust me on this, does not get hot enough when it's sat at idle. It just doesn't get hot enough to burn off the condensation that forms in your oil and in your crankcase. Okay, so when you start it and it's on the paddock stand, or it's running on the driveway or whatever, it does not get hot enough. I promise you, it doesn't. It doesn't get up to operating temperature on the oil. It does on the coolant. So the coolant will get up to 104, 110, whatever. And this is one that makes me laugh. People go, yeah, well, I'll run it till the fans kick in. It doesn't get any hotter than that. That's your coolant temperature, pal. That's not your oil temperature. Your coolant temperature is 110 degrees, but your oil temperature isn't. And your oil temperature isn't high enough to burn off all the moisture that forms in it. Running a motorbike or running a car on the drive does not get it up to the same temperature as running it under load. There's very big differences between an engine running under load and running at idle. Massive differences to pressures and temperatures. Deal with it. Right? Sorry if that came across as a little bit aggressive, but I'm just telling you, right? It will help you out. There's your advice for the day. Right, I've got a few shout outs to give in a minute, but we're nearly there now, 3 minutes to run. So I'm gonna put some tunes on and you can look out the front for a bit. You can look at some rain, because you don't see enough rain in your own lives, obviously. You can look at some rain on the telly as well. Class. See you in a minute. Oh, right, got the keys, got the car's there. Not going to mess around, I'm just going to load it up. It's chucking down with rain. Put you up here as always. Best view in the ass. Best view in the ass. nice and warm. Are you warm? I'm not. So, and we're on. Crikey. That's better. We're on, see? Big ass discovery. Not the first, not the last that I'm gonna have on the back of this. Okay. You alright, mate? You warm? Good. Glad you're warm. Right. Let's go back to Sleaford. My gloves are saturated. I'll get you mounted up and then we'll go. You okay? Should we go? Right, let's go home, Malky. Okay, welcome back to your position in my truck. I can't see, pal. So, shout outs. Right, I got a phone call yesterday. Everyone's like, good for you, I got a phone call yesterday. No, I got a phone call yesterday from a guy who said, hello. That's how most conversations start. We both went, hello. And then he said he builds Lego, and he was like, I want to. He said, if you'll give me a shout out on my channel, or if I'll give him a shout out on my channel, he will build me a Lego Ronnie. And I was like, mate, you're too late. Someone's already done it. Do you remember that? Remember that video? I'll try and find a clip of it from my previous video. Look, check this out. This has made me a Lego version of Ronnie. But look, there's Malcolm inside. Me and Malcolm. I said, you're too late. He was devastated. He was like, oh, how can I go on? And I said, well, build a better one. No, he said, so he's basically offered, he said he'll build us, he's going to build us a Ronnie, but he said it's going to be bigger, better, more special, whatever. So I think it's going to have me and Malcolm in it again, like the other one. It's cool. But yeah, it's cool that people want to do this stuff. So all just to give him a shout out. So have a look at his group. Right, I've written it down. It's Technic Wreckers. That's their Facebook group. So have a look at that. They got some cool stuff. Like really interesting. If you're a bit of a big kid at heart and you like automotive toys, they've got loads of cool stuff on there. So Technic Wreckers, hit him up, and he's going to build me a Lego version of me. Class. Well, me and my truck. I went into Tesco the other day, right, to get some fuel, and I like to use Red X in my fuel, like diesel system cleaner. It's good stuff, and if you keep on top of it, keep doing it, it's good for it. It's good for the engine, especially high mileages. So I wanted some Red X. Now I like to put the Red X in first, and then you put the diesel in on top of the Red X, so it mixes it all about, right? It's like when you make orange juice. You don't put the water in first and then pour the juice on the top, do you? Or like when you make a coffee, you put the milk in first. Oh, that could be controversial. What do you do? Coffee, milk in first or milk in last? It's got to be milk in first for coffee, I think. Tea, milk in second. Coffee, milk in first. These are interesting things that we're talking about on the channel today. But anyway, I like to put the Red X in first. So I went into the shop in Tesco Sleaford, and I was like, hello, would you mind if I took a bottle of Red X, used it, and then came in and paid all at once afterwards? And the girl, bless her, behind the counter was like, hi, I don't know. And then the other woman went, yeah, go on, it'll be alright, yeah, you can do it. And then I get the bottle of Red X. I was like, are you sure? Like, I don't mind paying for it first. And she was like, no, it's okay. And then I took it, and then they spent the whole time I was filling up, because I had to put like 120 litres or whatever in. The whole time they were like watching me through the window, like I was some sort of like a. I was like, but they were quite relieved when I went in, and because they were like, we thought we was going to lose our jobs there, mate. They're not from Bristol. We're not in Bristol. We're in Sleaford. I can't really do a Sleaford accent, even though I live here. I wonder what accent you'd have. Should we do some B-roll? I might put you on the door. Hey, I like a bit of door shots. Right, I'll mount you somewhere. Bit rude, isn't it? Bit forward. Buy me a drink first. another thing I forgot to tell you about, right? The other day, I was out in Ronnie and I had a car in front of me, and it was nighttime. Daytime, nighttime. Nighttime, daytime. It was nighttime. So it's nighttime and it was foggy. So at night in fog, the guy in front of me had no lights on. And I flashed my lights a couple of times. And after I flashed my lights, gave him a second to process that he had just been flashed by the guy behind. I then flicked my lights from on to off to on to off to on. Surely it doesn't take an absolute brain surgeon to go, okay, the guy behind me is trying to get my attention. He's then turned his lights off and on and off and on and on and off and off and on and on and off. I wonder what he could possibly mean. Every other car on the road has got their lights on, apart from me. But nah. If you are driving in the dark, in the fog, and you don't have lights on, then hit me up, because what you probably also need is someone to go, okay, what we're gonna do now is we're gonna breathe in. Okay, breathe in. Yeah, well, stop breathing in now, because otherwise you'll die and explode. And now we're gonna now breathe out. Yeah, that's it. Now stop. You can stop breathing out. And then what we need to do is you need to breathe in again. And then if you can just stop, and then to breathe out again. And then we need to, oh no, you need to keep doing it. You need to keep going. That's it. We need to do this to live. Sorry, you're having a bit of everything today. You've had life advice, motoring advice, you've had how to store a vehicle, and now you've had a rant. Everyone loves a bit of a rant, don't they, Mo? But yeah, come on, man, if it's dark and if it's foggy and if it's pissing down with rain, put your bloody lights on. Stupid. Right, do you know what? We're nearly there now. We're nearly back in Sleaford. I'm gonna introduce you to the new owner, because the owner of this has bought it. So, oh, he's asleep. Oh, you all right, pal? Me shouting away. Sorry. Yeah, so you're gonna meet the new owner in a minute. I'm gonna get him on the channel. He's a good bloke. He's a bit of an idiot because he's bought a Discovery 3, isn't he? Right, we're here. We're here with Fatty. Fatty boom boom. Oh, Crinkly had a go at me, didn't you, mate? Not in a vicious way, because I cover his sticker with my jacket, and this really annoys me when I'm editing because it's wonky. I need to sort that out. Anyway, we're just waiting for the new owner of this vehicle to come and meet me. Meet me here. Give me a sec. You'll meet him. Oh, he's here. Did you guess it? It's me. So I am the idiot who has bought a Discovery 3 because we are going to be farmers. Look, I bought props. We've got props now, Mark. We're farmers. Look. There we go. Look, see? So, it's this milk. So basically, why have I bought that? Well, all because of what I told you before. Because I have been stuck with Charlie 3 times trying to help other people, and there's nobody else around here that offers any sort of 4x4 service, and there's millions of green lanes around here. So I was like, right, I've got an idea. I put the feelers out in my network like I'm some sort of big deal. I put the feelers out, and I basically said, does anyone know of any part X's to clear or anything that needs a bit of work? As long as it's solid and the engine's good, I'll consider it. This came up. It was taken in as a part X by a mate, through a mate of a mate. I found out about it. Super cheap, right? So it's got a parking brake fault. Well, I can sort that. And the airbag light is on. I haven't scanned it yet. I've got full, obviously, diagnostics, so I'm going to scan it when I get back. And I'm going to sort that out. I'm only going to keep this for a few months. I'm going to sell it in like probably springtime once the worst of the weather's out of the way. But if that can just help me out a little bit. So that job I did the other day would have taken me 5 minutes in that, if I had that. And it took me 2 hours. So work smarter, not harder. Oh, do you want me, are you still happy in your hat? I love you. But if I can put that to use for a bit, fix the faults on it and sell it for a little bit of a profit, then fine. I'm not going to tell you how much I paid for it, but trust me, I should have been wearing a balaclava because I've stolen it, pretty much. It was very, very cheap. It's got MOT in March, so I'm going to MOT it in March. I'm not going to go like full send on it and make it into a full recovery vehicle, like lights and decals and everything. I'm just going to literally use it as and when I need. Stick some ropes in the back, probably some light flares and a set of cones, so that I've got, you know, if I need to, I can pull people out of ditches with it, and I don't need to go and get Ronnie. But, oh, you shouting at me? Yeah, so, God, I'm a lunatic. Do you want to come and have a quick look at it? I'll show you, come with me. So yeah, do you know what? It is what it is. It's solid, it's got no rust on it whatsoever. It's got this dodgy side step. Don't really like that. That's probably going to come off. But yeah, it's got no rust on it. Engine, solid, 100,000 miles, like I said. I'm pretty happy with it. 100,000 miles and full service history by Land Rover. Cam belt was done not long ago, so it's had all the belts done. So I know these have the crank issue, the cranks snap, but hopefully we'll get lucky with it. Anyway, that is the latest vehicle on the channel. Hopefully, you know, if it gets us through the next few months, so I can pull people out of ditches. There you go. Oh, look at him. You getting your blanket, pal? So I'm going to get back and get it on the scanner, see what's going on with it, and then basically put it to use. I've got a suction beacon, so I might put that. I might fit that just to give me a little bit of protection if I do need to pull anyone off the side of the road or something. But pull anyone off on the side of the road. The innuendos are strong today, guys. I kind of like wearing my farmer cap. Right, let's go home, Malk. Let's go and drop it off at home. You tell me, right, that that isn't the cutest thing you've ever seen. He's got the same hat as me. I'm not really one for dressing my dog up, but that is kind of cool. That's where I'm going to end it. You've seen the new boy. We need to think of a name. I think we're not going to get too attached to it because we're not keeping it forever. It's just part of the plan, the grand plan. Thank you for coming along. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you on my channel with me and Malcolm. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you've enjoyed this one. I'm going to go and edit you now. I'm going to go and edit this and hopefully get it out for Sunday, depending on how busy I am for the rest of the day. But I couldn't end it there, could I? I had to show you some stuff. So I'm out for a drive, just checking everything works really. It hasn't overheated. I've got the parking fault and I've got an airbag light, but I'm going to fix them. It's really, they're pretty decent there. Got a telly, haven't worked that out. I love when you buy like a part X to clear. Look, it's still got all these dodgy CDs and stuff. Someone else's stuff in here. But do you know what? It drives really nice. It's really nice little car. It needs a bit of a clean. I'll clean all the seats up. However, I do want to show you, this is the road. So this is the story that I was telling you about where I picked that guy out in Charlie, right? So this is where his sat-nav took him. Ready for this? Down that, okay? So I came down this, you can see my tracks. That, wherever you see a double wheel, that's me in Charlie at 2 o'clock in the morning. So what I'm gonna do is set you up and I'm gonna show you where he was and how hard it was to get him out. And we'll see if the new, whatever it's gonna be called, can do it. So we're off-road now. This is where it all happened. So this is one of the places I got stuck. So can you, like, I get the idea. It was absolutely pitch black down here. But look at this, you can see where every bit where we've tried to, where I had to dig him out. Right, come with me, guys. This is where it all happened the other night. We were literally, so he had turned round down there in a Jag XF. Can you imagine coming down here in a Jag XF? So that's where he was, stuck down there, and I was trying to get him out of here. This is where I got stuck. I got stuck there. This is where I was digging out. Anyway, this is where it all happened. God knows where he thought he was going. But that was the reason I've now purchased this vehicle. So Still on road tyres at the minute, but you saw there, like, I came down here with Charlie. Didn't manage to dig him out. I had to use a tree here, one of these trees, to winch myself out, and then I burnt the winch out. But anyway, back to the outro. Much love, guys. Stay safe, and I will see you on the next one. Take care.
Don't look before you leave. What you give, you